Humanoid robots that assemble cars. XPeng's Iron isn't just a prototype, it's already on the factory floor assembling EVs and setting new production standards. Let's check out the next wave of AI-powered manufacturing because it's pure AI dope.
Imagine walking into a factory. You see this humanoid robot, and it's smoothly assembling parts for their latest EV, the P7 Plus.
Yeah, that's not science fiction anymore.
No.
That's what XPeng is doing right now with their new robot Iron.
Iron.
It's a pretty fascinating step, isn't it? I mean, we're used to robots in factories.
Yeah,
but...
like in controlled environments.
Exactly.
But XPeng is thinking much bigger, I think.
Yeah, they are. This isn't just about, automating their assembly line.
Yeah.
It's a statement about their vision of the future robots being integrated everywhere.
Yeah, and I was looking over Iron specs.
Oh, yeah.
And they're impressive.
What have you got?
So it stands at 5'8", weighs 154 pounds, and it's got over 60 joints,
Wow.
giving it 200 degrees of freedom in movement.
Okay, so for people who didn't know,
Yeah.
degrees of freedom are basically all the ways you can twist and bend your arm.
Yeah, just think about all the ways you can move your arm.
Exactly, and Iron has a lot of them.
It does.
So that level of flexibility is really important for mimicking how we move.
Yeah.
It means that Iron can potentially navigate really complex spaces, handle delicate objects, adapt to all kinds of tasks, just like a human.
That's amazing.
And it's not just about being strong.
Right.
It's about precision, too.
I was going to say.
Iron's hands have 15 degrees of freedom.
Wow.
Think about that.
Yeah.
So that allows for really fine manipulation, which is key for those intricate tasks, like assembling the heart components.
Hey, want our free AI dope top AI tools that we use? Chat below. It's our live Google Sheets packed with over 100 killer tools, video, music, photos, AI voices, productivity, script writing, YouTube hacks, captions, the works, always growing, live Google Sheet, always free, AI, dope top AI tools that we use. Download and chat below. Back to the show.
So we're talking about a robot that moves like a human,
Yeah.
and it has the dexterity to pick things up
Yes.
very carefully.
Precisely.
That alone is remarkable.
It is.
But what I found most interesting was that Iron is already working in XPeng's factories.
Yeah, that's a really key difference here.
Yeah.
A lot of companies are developing robots like this.
Prototypes.
But XPeng has actually put Iron to work on their production line.
They have, and they released images
They did.
of Iron working on the P7 Plus EV.
Yeah, potentially installing components, doing quality checks, who knows?
Right, exactly.
But that real-world application,
That's what sets them apart.
it really does.
And this brings us to another point, the AI
Yes.
powering Iron.
It's not just any AI.
No, they're leveraging the same tech that they use in their self-driving cars.
Right, Eagle Vision.
Yeah, the Eagle Vision system
Yeah.
and the Turing AI chip.
So the robot can perceive its surroundings and make decisions?
It's like they took the brains from the self-driving car
Uh-huh.
and put it in this robot.
It's a smart move, though.
Yeah.
Using their existing AI infrastructure
Yeah.
means they can speed up Iron's development
Right.
and potentially link up their automotive and robotics divisions.
Yeah, it's next level AI integration.
It really is. It gives us a glimpse into this future where AI systems developed for one thing
Right.
can be used for something else completely different,
Exactly.
leading to rapid innovation across the board.
But XPeng's ambitions.
Oh, they're not stopping there.
No, they're not. They go beyond the factory.
Way beyond.
Yeah, they've hinted at homes, offices, retail environments.
So we could have Iron assisting us with our everyday tasks.
Yeah, from organizing our desks to helping customers find products in stores.
It's a bold vision, though,
It is.
and it brings up a lot of questions.
Yeah, like can Iron adapt to unpredictable environments like our homes?
Right.
Will people be comfortable with a humanoid robot?
Exactly.
And then what are the ethics of it all?
Big questions.
They are big questions.
Yeah.
Some might even say that XPeng is getting ahead of themselves.
Oh, how so?
Well, there's been some controversy around Iron's design.
Really?
Yeah, there are accusations that they copied elements from another robot from Figure AI,
Oh, interesting.
specifically the spine and the hip structure.
This is interesting because it ties into a larger conversation about how China approaches tech,
Yeah, in the past, they've been accused of imitating Western designs.
especially with smartphones and EVs early on. But then they quickly iterate on these ideas and become dominant players.
It's like a fast follower strategy taken to a whole new level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They learn from others, adapt quickly, and then they use their manufacturing power to scale up and take over market share.
So is this just another case of copying, or is XPeng truly innovating with Iron?
That's the million-dollar question.
It is, and I'm sure you have some thoughts on that.
I do.
But let's hold that thought for a moment.
Okay.
We're going to take a quick pause and come right back to unpack those questions about originality, innovation, and what this all means for the future of robotics.
Sounds good.
Don't go anywhere.
So before the break, we were talking about whether XPeng is copying or actually innovating with iron.
Yeah, and it's an important question.
It is, because if they're just trying to catch up, it's one thing. But if they're really innovating, that could change everything.
It could change the whole robotics landscape.
Exactly. So we need to look deeper.
Yeah.
Beyond just how it looks.
Right.
And see what makes iron different.
Okay, so while there might be some design similarities,
Yeah.
XPeng's real strength seems to be their AI and how they envision iron being used.
That's what I think too.
So let's break that down.
Okay.
We talked about how dexterous iron is and how it can manipulate objects.
Right.
What can it actually do
Well,
besides, assembling cars?
XPeng hasn't given us all the details yet,
Right, they've been a little vague.
but they have hinted at a lot of different applications.
Oh, like what?
They see iron as more than just a factory worker.
Okay.
They think it could be a versatile assistant
Okay.
in homes, offices, retail, you name it.
So like a robot butler bringing me breakfast in bed.
Well, maybe not breakfast in bed just yet,
Okay,
but laundry folding,
I'd take it.
that might not be too far off.
Really?
Remember, iron has those incredible hands with 15 degrees of freedom,
I do.
and it's powered by the same AI as XPeng's self-driving cars.
Which is pretty advanced.
It is very advanced, so theoretically, with the right programming, iron could handle tasks like that.
Okay, so it could learn to recognize different objects, like clothes,
Yeah,
and then manipulate fabric
Uh-huh.
and fold them perfectly.
exactly, and that's just one example.
Right. What else?
Think about iron as a retail assistant,
Okay.
stocking shelves, helping customers, or even processing transactions.
Oh, wow.
Or picture it in an office, sorting mail, delivering documents, even setting up meeting rooms.
It could do all that.
Potentially, yes. The possibilities are huge.
This is starting to sound like a real game changer.
It could be.
But isn't there a big difference between a factory and, say, a busy store or a messy house?
Oh, absolutely. There's a big challenge in adapting iron to those kinds of environments.
Because they're more unpredictable.
They are much more unpredictable, and it's not just about the physical stuff.
Right.
It's about developing AI that can understand human behavior
Yeah.
and all the complexities of the real world.
So the AI can't just see and move.
Right.
It needs to interpret like social cues.
Yes.
Anticipate what people need
Yeah,
and make decisions in real time.
exactly, based on a constantly changing environment.
Wow, that's where the real innovation will be.
It's not just about building a robot that can move things around. It's about creating a robot that can fit into our lives.
Seamlessly.
Yes, and actually enhance our capabilities.
And this is where XPeng's AI integration comes in.
Yes.
Because they're not just using any old algorithms.
Yeah.
They're using their knowledge from self-driving cars,
Right.
which requires a lot of environmental awareness.
Exactly, and really high-level decision-making.
Exactly.
And they've also talked about Iron's voice interaction capabilities.
Oh, really?
Yes, through their Tianji AIOS, which is their AI operating system.
Okay.
So it seems like they're aiming for a robot that can not only do things,
Right.
but also talk to us.
So we could actually talk to Iron?
Potentially, yes, give it commands.
Wow.
And it could respond in a way that feels natural, almost human-like.
That's getting us closer and closer to all those science fiction movies we've seen.
It does, but it's important to remember that this technology is still pretty new.
Right.
There are still a lot of challenges to overcome, both technical and ethical.
Speaking of ethical challenges,
Yeah.
I'm curious about what Iron could mean for jobs.
Oh, you mean if robots can do all these different jobs?
Yeah. Could people lose their jobs
That's a valid concern, and it's something we definitely need to think about.
as this technology keeps developing?
Yes, some jobs will probably be automated.
Right.
But if we look back at history,
Yeah.
technological advances often create new opportunities.
And new industries.
Exactly, that we might not even be able to imagine yet.
It's like the car.
Yes.
Replaced all those carriage makers and stable hands.
But it also created so many new jobs.
In manufacturing, transportation, all sorts of new fields.
Exactly. So the key will be adapting and evolving with this technology.
So education, retraining, and focusing on skills that complement robots.
Yes, skills that work with robots, not against them.
Exactly.
What's going to be crucial.
It's a good reminder that we're not just watching this happen.
Right.
We can shape how these technologies impact our lives.
Absolutely. But before we get into those broader implications.
Okay.
There's another interesting part of XPeng's strategy that we need to talk about.
Oh, really? What is it? I'm intrigued.
Mhm.
Okay, so you were saying there's another layer to XPeng's strategy.
Yeah, it goes back to our discussion about China and innovation.
Okay.
They've been criticized for copying in the past, but they've also shown that they can learn, adapt, and lead in technology.
Yeah, we saw that with smartphones, electric vehicles, and now they're really focusing on robotics.
Exactly, and it's not just XPeng. It's
Right.
like a national strategy in China.
Okay.
Their government has identified AI and robotics as key drivers for their economy in the future, and they're investing a lot of money in it.
Wow. So it's not just companies like XPeng, it's a push from the government too.
Yeah, it is. They're basically creating a perfect environment for innovation with funding resources and policy support. And they have a big advantage:
What's that?
manufacturing scale.
Oh, right.
China has a huge and really advanced manufacturing system.
Right.
So they can scale up production really quickly and lower costs.
So they can develop these advanced technologies and produce them on a scale that's hard to match.
Exactly. It's a powerful combination.
It is.
And that's why a lot of experts think that China is going to become a major force in robotics globally.
Yeah. It reminds me of what happened with smartphones and EVs.
Yeah.
Western companies were leading at first,
Uh-huh.
but then Chinese companies caught up,
They did.
using their manufacturing power and that fast follower approach.
Exactly. And now companies like Huawei, Xiaomi, BYD, and of course XPeng,
Yeah.
they're major players globally competing with the big names.
So the question is, could we see the same thing happen with robots?
It's a good question. Could China, with its government backing its massive manufacturing and all its tech talent,
Yeah.
overtake the US and other Western countries in robotics?
It's a huge question, and it's about more than just economics.
Right. Robotics and AI will have an impact on everything.
Everything. National security, defense, healthcare, education, even how our societies work.
Absolutely. This isn't just about who makes the coolest robots. It's about global leadership in the technologies that will define our future.
And the choices we make now will have consequences for a long time.
They will. It's pretty daunting to think about.
It is, but it's also really exciting.
It is. We're living through a major turning point in technology. XPeng's robots are impressive, yet in this next video, we take a look at how Tesla is creating futuristic composites in their Optimus humanoid robot. Click this video to see how Tesla continues to push tech and utilize all the very latest AI dope.